Hello, PG Senpai here. Today I'm going to be turning the Jinafire long Monster High doll into a sim without using any CC that was made for her. I want to preface by saying that I put this off for an entire week just to do my Halloween content, and I still had absolutely no idea what I was doing when I went into this. I planned for this creative sim. I did a recolor just to be able to pull this character off or give her a little bit more flair, and it still took me 4.5 hours to complete, and I kid you not, I feel like I closed my game and reopened it like 20 times just to make sure I had the right content in my game. Long story short, I'm a perfectionist, and this video took me twice as long as the others because one, I took a break from the game after creating and uploading back to back for Halloween, and my game wouldn't allow me to save my sims after the update because there was a broken mod in there and I didn't find it for 2 days. Same thing with my other Monster High creative sim videos. I collected new custom content specifically for this video, and this one was just different, and mainly because I, in my opinion, went all out and created my first recolor just for this video. And the reason I had to close down my game so many times was because the recolor stopped showing up, so I had to do it all over, and I had to change the colors because the skin didn't match. I was going to give her yellow skin because that is what a lot of the dolls were showing on Pinterest, and the board that I created for her specifically, a lot of the dolls were showing up as bright yellow. But upon doing more research, I found out that she actually has gold skin, so I was trying to do my very best to give her gold skin. So when I loaded the recolor into the game, it was not the right color and I had to recolor it again. But it came out pretty good for my first recolor. Don't come for me, okay? I'm not a pro. I followed like 2 tutorials, okay? And I think it came out pretty good. This video was requested by Moreland, and I'm so excited to finally get this video out. After making Cleo, I really wanted to make both Elissabat and Jinafire, so I'm so happy that people actually requested them. I did some research and extensive planning for this video. I've been using this new software, Milanote, and I think it really helped me to get a better picture of what I wanted the sim to look like rather than just going into it blind and figuring out as I go. I mean, it still took me a really long time, but I had a lot of other things going on today in the background, so I was just not as focused. But if I was, maybe it would have not taken as long. I think if I didn't end up planning for her, she would not have came out as good as she did. The only thing, you guys will see it later, there was one thing I really couldn't add because it was conflicting with something else, and that's the only thing that I really wasn't happy with. Everything else I was pretty happy with, and I really love how she came out. I did do a lot of research when it came to her background and more about the culture that she represents. So I'm going to share with y'all what I discovered and how I used it to bring this sim to life. So Jinafire is a strong-willed, fiery, brave, fashion-forward ghoul. She is said to be hot-tempered, but is portrayed in the webisodes and Garrus City of Fright's TV special as clever, patient when she is not directly affected by the situation, and focused on her work. So in essence, she's hardworking and very work-driven. Just like anyone else, she probably gets a little frustrated when her work is disturbed. She is a traditional Chinese dragon, Eastern Chinese dragon, I believe, with golden scales and black hair. I mean, black and green. We're gonna say black and green. She is often depicted wearing a qipao, which I just learned how to pronounce like a day or two ago, and I'm still not confident on how to say it, but I was watching a doll customization video and that's how they said it. I did more research. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. And she often wears intricate patterns and high heels. Again, she loves fashion and likes to fire up traditional designs with sharp and fierce accessories. Because she has the ability to breathe fire, her specialty is metalworking. She's also very competitive. I don't know why, but metalworking just made me think of The Golden Compass because I'm watching the show version on HBO Max. It's not good. I like the movie better. They should have just kept it a movie. Jinafire is assumed to possess the ability of any other Chinese dragon, whether or not they're in her lineage, but it has been shown that she cannot breathe water or fly. I got all this information from fandom.com. I actually get a lot of my information about characters and stuff from that website. Before learning about other cultures' dragons, I was highly obsessed with Western dragons, more specifically a little purple dragon, Spyro. He's the cutest little thing, and he's actually the reason that I'm in love with fantasy. I think he's like the oldest memory I have of anything fantasy related, or fantasy games, but fantasy related. If you know what game I'm talking about, let me know down in the comments, because he was absolutely one of my favorite characters. Him and I don't know the cheetah's name, but I think that's why a cheetah was always like one of my favorite animals, and Spyro dragons are like an obsession of mine. The little I did know about Chinese dragons is that they don't have wings like Western dragons do, and they don't have like the same voluptuous shape. I feel like Western dragons are shaped like dinosaurs, and Chinese dragons are shaped like a snake with legs. After doing more research, I learned that Chinese dragons also have 5 claws. Japanese dragons have 4 and Korean dragons have 3. At least that's what I read. I can say that One Piece does depict their dragons with 4 claws though, so maybe it's right. They have a dog's muzzle with deer horns, lobster eyes, a lion's mane, and eagle claws, which is how I normally see them in Chinese culture. So Chinese dragons, unlike Western ones, are typically kind and wise creatures. They can also manipulate different elements. And again, they don't have wings, but they use magic to fly. This reminds me of the dragons from Zelda too, like the big ones that just fly in the sky. Tears of the Kingdom, you can actually get on them, which is awesome. It's actually making me miss the game right now. Like, I might go ahead and go play that a little bit later. I'm not familiar with older Zelda games, but the newer ones, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and The Legend of Zelda. After I was introduced to those games, I was completely obsessed with them. It was around the time I was introduced to Genshin Impact, and the reason I love those games so much is because they're open world and you get to explore like as much as you want, which I love. I definitely am a simulation role-play video game kind of girl. I like to have creative freedom in video games, and role-play games and simulation games offer that. Now, after hearing all of the information about the dragons, you're probably wondering how the hell did that help you create this sim? And I'm going to tell you, I have no freaking clue. All I know is I wanted to use traditional Chinese clothing for the sim, of course, because she's a sim, not a dragon. She just has dragon features or characteristics. Basically, I took what little knowledge I had, added more knowledge through research, and while in Create Sim, I focused my eye on everything that looked like Chinese-based clothing or accessories. And I went with the red, green, like really bright, vibrant color palette. Not a specific color palette, but a really bright, vibrant color palette for Jinafire, because she's a fashion ghoul, of course, and she loves clothing and accessories, and she likes to go all out. So I wanted to go all out for this Create Sim. Other than the lion tail recolor, I also found those little smoke eye accessories by Obscurus, and I saved those specifically for this Create Sim. I saw those on TikTok at first, and I asked where they were from. The creator didn't respond. I don't think they're active, but I ended up finding them around Halloween, and I was like, yes, this is what this is for. The only thing I couldn't find was the gold skin, gold scales. I think it still worked out fine. She started to come together really, really nicely. I wasn't able to put earrings on her because they were conflicting with her eyelashes, but I think it's a good price to pay for how good she came out. The Obscurus eye smoke, they're called sparkles, but they look like smoke to me. I used that to make it look like she's a fire breather. She has smoke around her face. That's the only way I could think of making that happen, and I'm so glad that I found that around the time that I did. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of this Create Sim. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Also, if you're interested in seeing a specific character, let me know down in the comments. In the next video, I might do 2 or 3 characters at a time, just so I can have more on my roster and more for you guys to watch. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.